And welcome back to the We'll Take It From Here podcast. Another week, another episode. However, first, we are going to bring you our show's sponsor, because this episode is brought to you by Honest Supplements. Now, Joe, what's Honest Supplements? Well, let me tell you. In a world that is plagued by new illness outbreak every other day, it's important to keep your body performing at its best with the right vitamins and supplements. However, these products can get expensive, especially with rising prices all around us. Honest Supplements has resolved that problem. They mark up all products by just $1, saving their members an average of 50% per product. Yes, that means that the protein you're paying $60 for is only $30 on their website. They have everything from vitamins, sports supplements, recovery, weight loss, CBD, and so much more. It costs just $10 a month or $99 for the entire year to join the Honest Supplements Club. Timmy and I are both members and can advocate for the amount of money that you will save. And do we also mention that all products are third-party lab tested? Because that's the only true way to prove vitamins and supplements actually contain the ingredients that they claim. Don't wait. Go to Honest Supplements right now to join today and start taking better care of your health. And it's right. If you train jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, or just in the gym, you better be taking Honest Supplements. So go to their website, guys. All right. Now it's time for the show. Back, folks. We'll take it from here. 182 episode.
Welcome.
Episode 182.
Yeah. Don't pull me. It's episode 825.
825. Episode 182. You listen to the show with the goal to make you think, entertain you. Welcome back. I'm back from vacation. If I look darker, it's because I was.
You barely look darker.
I know. No, if I take off my shirt right now, I'm a lobster. You can cook me with some butter, bro. That's my base. You know, I have an objection here, and I want it. Mom and dad and grandma and grandpa. How the hell am I Southern Italian descent? I am the freaking fairest person ever. The fuck is this shit? What is this, dude? Napoletano, Savignyese, and Palermitano, and I'm fucking white as shit.
Yeah, you are. I mean, I'm not that dark, but
it makes no sense.
Yeah.
What is up with that? Anyway, welcome back to the show, folks. We didn't miss you because we recorded ahead of time, but we're back now live, and I don't miss you because
by live, I mean not live. We're recording for this week.
We're recording live now for this week. Anyway,
Joe's still settling back in from vacation.
Dude. It's good, okay, dude. It's crazy, dude. It seems like fucking, I don't know. It seems like it's like 8 a.m. in the morning, but it really what? It's not 10 a.m. That's actually accurate. You know what's wild? If you could see, I have the most gangster ghetto ass fucking clock, and the reason is the minute hand's over there, but it'll fall off. I can't get it back on.
Yeah,
it'll just fall off as it turns.
I tried. It's all fucked up.
But the funny thing is, for the first time, I think while we're recording, that is actually pretty accurate because it's like 9:40ish right now, which means it's about to be 10. That's funny. Anytime here, clock's right. Twice a day, right?
Yeah, broken clock's right twice.
Broken clock's right twice again. So, dude, back. It's good to be back. Happy here. Dude, so much we could talk about right now.
Yeah, world's going to war.
World's going to war. Not yet.
Potentially.
Potentially.
Yeah, so last night, Trump bombed the fuck out of Iran.
Yep.
Which he said he was going to give them 2 weeks.
And then he did it anyway.
Yeah, apparently, I don't know, some wild shit. I haven't been following any of it.
I just know what happened, and I'm praying that nothing comes of this. Either I'm just praying. First of all, I didn't want it to happen, but second of all,
yeah, I don't know why we're going to war for Israel, but
yeah,
that's what we
America
do.
First.
Apparently,
America first, right?
America first. I'm sorry, America first means we protect Israel at all costs. It says it in the Bible. Just listen to Ted Cruz.
Ted Cruz got destroyed.
Listen, Ted Cruz. It's in the Bible,
dude.
He doesn't know where in the Bible, but it's in the Bible.
If you guys haven't seen Tucker Carlson destroying Ted Cruz, please go watch it.
Watch the clips because it gets kind of brutal.
Regardless of the side. First of all, before we get into that, there's no side here if you're an American. There's no side, okay? America first. And by the way, I'm not naive to the fact that we have funded Iran even back to the Obama days. We did. We gave them so much money.
I'm sure you did
the regime
before that too.
By the way, everything that we're going to talk about here differentiate the people, the innocent people, from the regime. I'm not siding with Iran's regime. Actually, there's a guy that we know that owns a jiu-jitsu gym here whose whole family's Iranian, and he even called out the regime, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, he doesn't like what's going on because his family's over there and fucking getting bombed. But he even, like...
If you hate Trump because you're American, you're a Trumper? If people talk shit about Trump, does that mean they're talking shit about you because you're an American?
Exactly.
No.
Exactly. The regime is what we're calling out here on both sides.
It drives me nuts when people are like, oh, so you're anti-Semitic. Oh, so you're this. Oh, so you don't like immigrants because you don't believe in illegal immigration. It's like, dude, what?
No. So
let's be honest and not disingenuous.
Exactly. So that's another point, too, we're going to bring it here. And the one thing that I will constantly always call people out on, it is not the Jews. It is a select few in Israel's government. Let's put other side. It's not the Islamic Muslims. It is a select few in their regime, along with the terrorist groups that are radicalized by said regime. I'm actually over. We're talking about disingenuous.
Yeah.
I'm over the religious division.
Yeah, it's really obnoxious.
I'm really over.
Honestly, it seems like in the last even 4 months, everyone's just like, we see what you're doing now. It's stupid. Stop.
But dude, it's like
it's
all through like
2 years ago, you couldn't have any of these conversations. The conversation that Tucker had, he would have been called anti-Semitic from the beginning and destroyed.
Here's the funny thing.
But now they can't do it anymore because these long-form conversations, you get picked apart like a fucking roadkill by vultures.
Here's the thing. The reason why Ted Cruz got destroyed by Tucker Carlson just saw lightning. We're gonna hear thunder.
Nice.
I guess
Bring
I'm
the
not going
heat.
on the boat. Anyway, fuck me. Anyway, the reason that he got destroyed is because Ted Cruz, just like every other member, I can't say every, majority of Congress, is funded by AIPAC, USAID, which essentially takes our tax dollars, your tax dollars, you're listening right now or watching, and
AIPAC is USAID was tax funded NGO, where AIPAC is a super PAC that's donations.
Yes, but I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if
But
our
our
tax
money
dollars go there.
Our money goes to Israel. Tax dollars goes to Israel for foreign aid and all that bullshit. And then they get to donate where they want to.
Exactly, which is lobbyists, but on steroids, right? And it's the same thing. But here's the fucked up part. Not only do
So that's how your taxpayers' money is going to fund politicians to do what.
And that's why a politician could go in on $175,000 a year salary and come out multi-millionaire. It's not supposed to happen. They steal your money, our money. So, with regards to who we fund everybody.
Yeah.
Like the fucked up thing is we're funding both sides. So it's like I understand that there's a lot of criticism toward Israel, not the Jewish people, Israel.
The Israeli government,
Yes.
not the citizens.
Not the citizens, not its people. But I also understand that there is a lot of criticism on the regime for Iran or whomever, right? At the end of the day, you don't want bombings of of these innocent people, right? Yeah. Okay, but they're taking out nukes. I hope to God that there were those centers that they took out actually were like the only way I can justify what happened last night. Only way is if they actually had the nukes, which they probably do, but if they were planning on actually using it.
It was some kind of facility for them to develop nuclear technology.
That's fine. Well, it's not fine, but I say that's fine because I know exactly what you're going with. But if we get propagated so badly, like as a world, right, by the news, which is propaganda, right? So it
was legally allowed by Obama, by the way?
Legally allowed by Obama when he was in term. But what I don't get is for how many years have we been hearing that they're X amount of days away from nukes? It's like, why does this feel, and I could be wrong, why does this feel like Weapons of Mass Destruction Part 2?
Yeah, it's all the same thing.
It's the same thing, right?
Here's the thing that drives me nuts, right? That point of, they're 15 days away, they're 10 days away, they're 3 months, they're 6 months. Fine, if that's what you believe. But why do you believe that? Explain to me your point of view. You can't just tell me and blow smoke up my ass saying, this is the timeline. Why do you think that? Well, we can't release that data. Okay, so how do I know you're being realistic, or you just want us to do what you want us to do?
Yeah, exactly. And at the same point too, it's like, look, if this all worked out somehow, look, we're recording this on the
Sunday.
22nd,
Sure.
21st.
I couldn't tell you.
No, 22nd. This is June 22nd, right? If somehow it ended up that the propaganda that I'm calling it worked and Iran backs off and there's no more conflict and somehow that was a really aggressive way to broker peace, which doesn't really make sense. Just go with me here. And it worked. Cool.
Yeah.
Then I got worried for no reason and I was wrong on that part and it worked. I don't know if that's really going to be the long-term solution. And here's what I was thinking about it. Okay, so he said, and even in his tweet, he bombed them, right, those facilities, and goes, now it's time for peace. Okay, let's just say somehow it worked. Okay, still our tax dollars are going to that bombing, which I don't want because Ukraine, right? We've been fucking robbed for the past 4 years.
That's oh my god.
That's another thing, right? But now
I'm gonna not rant on that one. I've done that enough.
That's fine. That won't beat a dead horse. But let's just say it somehow brokers some weird peace. Okay. But now let's say that everything with all the globalists, the Epstein people, all those, like the ones who control the world. Let's say that they don't get exposed, which was what we were hoping happened this term, right? Which it could still happen. And if it's the case, why don't we
hurry up?
Let's just say that doesn't happen. So you don't think that Iran, the regime, won't propagate its citizens to say, oh, look, little 4-year-old, look what they did to your home and your family. They just, what do you think? Those people aren't going to grow up and then fucking want revenge?
Yeah.
But who's at fault? Not only Iran's regime, Israel's regime, the United States regime, and any fucking country that goes along with this.
Yeah.
It's all a game.
Yeah.
Now, I'm, like I said, the one thing that I want to always, because like I'll have conversations with my friends who are Trump supporters too, and one in particular, and we're not like fighting, but we're disagreeing.
Calling you out specifically.
Yeah, no, but it's like
I'm just kidding.
No, but he's bringing up some points that I can see, counterpoints. But the one thing I'm always going to say is like, I'm not going to sit here, call out Ukraine for being bullshit, and robbing us, and now be like, if I still don't know yet what's going to happen. If we enter into a war from yesterday's actions and from all the actions with Israel and Iran bombing each other, how can I support that war when I completely went against supporting the Ukrainian war? How?
Well, here's the big thing is
how?
In the Constitution, war has to be approved by Congress.
Yes. There is a loophole where 60 days the president can enact, I forgot what it's called, but for 60 days troops can be in an area and then they have to get out without Congress's approval.
Okay. When was the last time Congress approved the war?
Oh, bro, when was the last time Congress approved anything without...
When was the last time Congress approved war? I believe it was World War II. I could be wrong, though.
So did Bush go in without congressional approval? But that also makes sense because you have 9/11. It's they fucking attacked us. Yeah.
They have all these loopholes, but the whole point of the Constitution is that the president can't just go and into all these fucking wars. Yeah. Like, if it's that serious, Congress should be able to approve it, no issues. But they don't want to do that because they don't want to make it an official war. But it is an official war. It's an unofficial war. Yeah. So my point is, they're not like there's supposed to be a process to go through this to make it. So there's not issues with this, but they don't. They do whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah, for sure.
The only thing different with this that I'm going to highlight is like my point of view isn't we should go to fucking war. My point of view is that it's why we train jiu-jitsu, right? You're out with your friends, like you're not going to pick a fight. Someone comes up to you talking shit, you're not going to just punch them in the face. We're not going to. The whole point isn't to go and just have fun with your jiu-jitsu in public. No, it's you have it there in case you fucking need it. And someone starts fucking with your girl that you're with. Fuck you, dude. Back off.
Yeah.
Like, that's when you do it, right?
Yep.
In this situation, is this one of those positions where fuck off, back off? So this wasn't like, hey, we're moving all the troops in, we're doing this. it was strategic bombing, right? Okay, so if he was going to do anything, this would be my preferred thing that he would do, if anything at all. Mm-hmm. So, with that being said, I don't know what the route was. I don't have all the information, so I can't decide if this was a good or bad thing. But the way he went about it, I think, was the best possible scenario of pursuing some kind of military action.
And this is what I said last night to another friend. I was like, dude, 3 things. After this, I hope that this somehow, there's no retaliation, no sleeper cell retaliation, which I believe could be something. I hope that it's over.
I'm not going down that rabbit
Yeah,
hole.
I hope it's over, because I agree. But at the same time, it's like, did we even need to? Then here's the question, though. Did we even need to? Like, we really at some point need to like this is our home is what we need to fix.
Yeah, well, I agree.
The resources, the Epstein files, all
my
that shit.
My favorite was, for people that didn't see the Ted Cruz. Tucker goes, "How is bombing Iran helping anyone pay for groceries?"
Yeah, seriously.
How is bombing Iran helping anyone at home here cover any bills? Our inflation is at an all-time high, even with Trump coming in, and apparently a lot of policies been helping the inflation rate.
It's been decreasing for sure. There is like a, what's it called? There's an inflation rate chart that is, it's fucking just the chart from like the 1900s.
Yeah.
From when Biden took office to now, like in that 4 years, it fucking went up. And now it's still up, but it's going down.
So I'm not going to give Trump any fucking room. He gave out so much fucking money during COVID. Mm-hmm. Trump did. Mm-hmm. Not Biden, Trump. Mm-hmm. That fucked inflation. Mm-hmm. That if you have, I think half the money ever printed was printed from after COVID. Like from when COVID started to now.
100%.
And the stat was from like 2023.
Bro, dude, so let me bring this up right now. I'm going to bring it up. I'm gonna bring it up.
If you print double the amount of money that has ever existed, your value of your dollar is cut in half.
Yeah.
That's a fact. So that was under Trump. And then Biden just was whatever. If you honestly can still sit there and think that Biden was a good president when he was literally brain dead, there's so much shit coming out. Like, come on. Let's have an honest conversation. I don't care about you wanting certain democratic policies. That's fine. But don't sit there and tell me that Biden was a good president. He was terrible.
Terrible.
You know,
he wasn't even in fucking office, by the way.
So the whole point is, how is us going to Iran helping us anywhere at home? It's not. It's not. We have so much shit going on across our whole country internally. That's where our focus needs to be. That doesn't mean that we ignore, the outside world and we don't do anything to protect ourselves long term either. That's fine. I get that. But the main focus should be getting our shit at home done.
Yeah, 100%. And
the big, beautiful bill, though, the most expensive budget ever.
There is a lot of tax cuts in that, though.
Yeah,
which were good.
But
you're spending money. I get it.
Oh, let's have Doge come in and then not do half the Doge shit, and then also spend the most amount of money we ever spent.
When USAID got exposed, my thing is like that's great. That's a check on Trump's legacy. Why aren't you now holding everyone accountable for that? That's the next check.
Here's the thing with stuff like that, though. If something doesn't happen immediately, I'm not gonna write it off. So I'm gonna give opportunity for things to happen and grow and develop, because a lot of this stuff is very nuanced and detailed, and it takes a lot of getting your ducks in a row before you execute. So I can understand maybe this budget is just going to be fucked no matter what, and then next year's budget, that's where they really cut their teeth.
So, sure, I'm going to read this. Essentially, right now, I want to get back to that.
Text me that picture, and I'll add it. I'll post this up in the video.
What? I'm going to send you the link.
Perfect.
Just send the link. Just see what we're going to show you is we're going to show you big, just the inflation from each month, from each year, and you can see all the stuff. Now, that will serve here. I don't have to explain it. You can see it. It's just literally the USA inflationcalculator.com. What's it called? Now, let's get back to what you just said. Because there is many nuances. Sure, there are many nuances to this. And that is actually a lot of people who supporting what's going on right now. Whether it's because it's Trump or not. You know how we always complain about, or I should say point out the opposite side of people who hate Trump that can't. Now we're getting on a slippery slope where some people just because it's Trump are not going to criticize him when he's not doing what he said, right? Now,
have a backbone. Don't do that.
Exactly. Now,
I understand being motivated. Like, I love this dude. I get that. But, like, have a little bit of a spine and criticize when it's due.
100%. Now, at the same point, I like that you said to wait, right?
Yeah.
So everyone jumped on it yesterday when all these, like, influencers, right?
Yeah.
Who supported Trump, voted him in, but will criticize him.
Yeah.
Are now saying all this shit, like, blah, 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 we're owned by Israel, whatever. But we don't know yet. We don't know if we're going to war or not, right? We don't know what happened. Like I said, it's June 22nd. Now, here's what I'm going to say. There have been a lot of people who will say, hey, man, we don't know the full picture. Mm-hmm. Very true. We don't know what's really going on behind the scenes. Very true. Does that mean I can't call it all out and criticize it for where I'm seeing? No, because at that point, then we all should just shut the fuck up and be good little puppets.
Yeah.
2, I know so we're not going to beat a dead horse, so I'll keep it very high level, 10,000 foot view. I don't agree with anything that happened in Ukraine. I think that was all calculated to funnel money into the politicians' pockets. But
listen, the whole thing before Biden came in was that he had corruption in Ukraine.
100%.
Like, that was the whole conspiracy theory that people had. And then what? We go to war with Ukraine and we give them hundreds of billions of dollars? Yes. How much? Trillions?
Oh, no, hundreds of billions. It was over 100 billion.
So, like that literally is the thing that people were saying was going to happen, and then it happened. They funneled money through Ukraine. So, like, I don't understand. Whatever.
Yes.
Anyway.
And people always said the reason was, because it's Putin. Like, everyone has a hard on because they thought Trump and Putin were in together, which that's been proven that was a lie.
Apparently Trump's going after that.
Yeah, for sure, because it was a lie, and it was actually brought up and it was proven that it was a lie, and they made it up, it's mind-boggling. That's treason. No one's being held accountable. But regardless,
no, I think it's a long-term process. Listen, like I said, it takes a long time to get these things ducks in the order.
I get that, but here's where I'm going with this. We could say that we didn't have the full picture then, but you didn't. You knew what was going on, but we didn't have the full picture. Well, we sort of did. But you could have made it right when that happened, and we were all calling it no. We could have said we didn't have the full picture.
Yeah.
But now we do, right? Time. I get that there's time. Mm-hmm. We don't really have too much time. Now, I've been saying this to all the people that I have had discussions with, that sure, I hope I'm wrong. I hope that by the end of his term, he just does maybe this whole thing, goes, hey, here's everyone on the fucking list. You're all being executed. You're all being fucking arrested, right? Mm-hmm. Whatever. By the way, Epstein's list, child pedophilia, right? Oh, shit.
Well, let's specify pedophilia is under a certain age.
Oh, my God. Don't even get me started. That guy. Check that guy's hard drive. They're all being held accountable, right?
Yeah. What's it? The teenagers is a different term than pedophilia.
Yeah.
Technically speaking.
Yeah, dude. I am. That was disgusting.
Fix my glasses. Technically speaking, sir.
Yeah. If you guys don't know what we're talking about, there was this guy who crawled out because he's like, most of the people that had sex with the underage girls were just underage. It wasn't technically pedophilia because some of them were 15.
No, there's a technical term for the age of pedophilia, and then there's another term for, I think it's like, I'm going to throw a random number out there, 10. And then 10 that, of legal age is a different term or something.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't really fucking care. To me, it's just disgusting. It's just a blanket term. Under the legal age, it's gross.
Yes. At this point, too.
And then if you're 60 years old and she's 18, that's still fucking gross.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't care if it's legal. It's gross.
Bro, dude, there's
you fucking Leonardo DiCaprio?
No, here's the thing. Fully functioning brain by two adults who consent to it. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
12-year-old, 13, 14, 15. There's something wrong with that.
Yeah.
There's something wrong with that.
Yeah.
Right?
All right, we're back to the original topic that we were talking about.
I hope that if he doesn't do it now, there is some plan and some strategy of what he's using to then say, hey, here's the list. You're all being held accountable. Take down the world, the globalists, right? I hope. But why, at what point do we just not know that these people are the ones who created a virus, right? That wasn't as deadly as they said it was. Then psyoped everyone into believing it was. Then, and But Trump created the vaccine. I get that, but then forced a
Trump
vaccine.
did not create the vaccine.
Or
Trump enabled the vaccine to go to market.
Yes.
He didn't create shit.
He didn't create it. He enabled. Thank you. But then it was also forced mandatory when Biden came in, right?
I'm gonna give Trump a little benefit of the doubt there too. Is let's play devil's advocate here. He was not in the loop with Fauci and all them and the people that quote unquote planned the pandemic. Because they had a war game developed like a couple years before that.
It was World Economic Forum.
Yeah.
They did a trial thing of what would happen.
And that was what, 2017?
2018, I think.
Yeah, okay. That's just coincidences don't happen. I'm sorry, they don't.
Yeah.
So whatever. Anyway, let's say Trump was just on the outside of that, didn't know. So looking at his position, I probably would have done the same thing as him. Not now, but in that moment with him and the cards he had, and I didn't know that this was what it is, what it turned out to be, I probably would have made the same decision.
Okay, that's fair because you don't know what's going to happen,
Yeah.
right? But in the end, now, yeah,
it's a different story.
That's a different story.
But you can criticize from the position of now, but you can't be completely naive for the fact that they had all the information then.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, right? Like, no, that was not the right decision. But in the moment, I know, like, I can understand why you made that decision.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
So
fair. But regardless,
sorry, we're a little ADD.
No,
this
that's
morning.
fine. No. I that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
But now so now it gets forced in, right? We're talking about a people who created the virus, who then created the vaccine that's very deadly. And now we're talking about a globalist society for decades creating forever wars to fund themselves and to keep the military-industrial complex, functioning with money, right? Creating division. Here's why taking your time doesn't make sense in this case. And I'm going to give this is not me saying this. Give credit where credit's due. Andy Frisella from the Real AF podcast, another great podcast, has been saying this since 2021, maybe 2020, actually. I started listening to him in 2021. I think he's been saying it since 2020. These are the same people. We have them now, a chance to fucking end their bullshit. These are people, the accountability and their punishment for treason for all this crimes against humanity is not going to be soft.
Yeah.
They're going to do whatever it takes. And this is what he said. He said, who's to say they don't actually create a virus that is deadly, that is killing people, and then blame the unvaxxed, the people who weren't wearing masks and being like, see, this is the reason why. And we know the useful idiots will eat it up. Who's to say, and this is what he said too, that they won't start World War III to escape accountability. You guys are, many people are looking at this from Jewish versus Islam versus Middle East versus whose land it is, where Frisella and what I actually like, and I agree with him, is I'm looking at this from a different side. I'm saying that no one's talking about COVID anymore. No one's talking about the vaccine. No one's talking about all these wars with Ukraine. No one's talking about the robbing of the USAID. No one's talking about it anymore because now they have something to focus on.
Yeah.
And if they never get held accountable,
that's what they do. They just keep fucking changing the craziness to something else
to distract, which is why I'm saying this needs to get done swiftly. Dude, at one point, bro, I'm all about the Constitution, right? But at what point can we just not acknowledge that there is a system of maybe a select 1,000 people who are against us, who want to divide us? At what point do we stop just showing up to the gunfight with our fists? Like, you know what I mean? Like proverbial. At what point do you just say, hey, man, let's get this done and then let's start over? Like, so, bro, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It's not going to be easy, and in the beginning it might be a little chaotic, but there's got to be a reset.
So this is the thing I struggle with in this topic is, right, let's just say the people on that list are high up in powerful positions, whether they're completely involved or just on the outskirts of it. They're connected, but they haven't done shit. All right, let's say it's 100 people. So random. Those 100 people are all in super positions of power, right? So
behind the scenes.
No, I'm talking about like Prince Henry, right? Was on that list.
Yeah, but
I'm saying like, so like,
100%.
let's say it's congressmen and all these fucking people. They're not like behind. They're literally people of power.
100%. But what I'm saying is the people running it. I'll let you finish. Prince Henry, in my opinion, he may be very high up, but I think there are people who don't even get named who stay out of the limelight.
Yeah, there's the people in the limelight that's in this, and then there's the people that run that ring. Yeah. But like going through and pursuing the list, right? I'm not saying not to, right? That's not it at all. I think there's a lot of nuance with the conversation on that because let's say there's a bunch of Saudi princes on there and they're like, we're not going to sell you any more oil if that list comes out.
Okay.
No oil? Where's all oil come from?
Alaska, and then fucking everyone can shut the fuck.
We have that.
No. Well, we had it, and now we don't use it anymore, right?
But my point is like that's a big like natural resources being restricted is a huge fucking thing. So like I'm not saying that's what the case is. I'm just saying like that is an example of like so like there could be reasons why. There's more than just top level. So I don't fucking know. And I'm giving opportunities for things to unfold. And like what I always say, it's good to have an explanation and understanding and your belief, but don't believe that you know everything.
No, 100.
So like in this situation, like let's say Trump is trying to pursue all this stuff, right? And I think the one thing he talked about a lot during his campaign was on how last term he had no clue on how to pick cabinets on this people, and he had a bunch of fucking sleazy people because it's politics coming in and try to take over and keep going with what the normal politicians do. So like he's got to decipher through these people that come in. Are they on his team or are they just implants? Mm-hmm. So there's like navigating all that on top of navigating this whole thing, on top of being president, doing all this other shit. So like, nice.
Yeah, it's nice.
I don't know if you heard that thunder.
I hope that came through. That was sick.
So like, I don't think it's like surface level like that easy. So I think my point is that it's very complicated, even though it may seem not complicated. There's a lot of nuance and complicated and puzzle pieces and things that fit in. So. If it doesn't happen overnight, I wouldn't be surprised.
Okay,
so I think the list should have been released because that's different. But pursuing stuff and going after things, I think that it becomes very new. Has to be extremely methodical.
Here's the thing. Great points, especially with the Saudi prince, right? If that's true, which I think it is, but if that's true, right? YouTube.
Yeah.
Great point. Here's my rebuttal to that. If it is the top level people, it doesn't mean that the people below them or even in their country agree with it. They're probably pissed off too, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Now, there's two ways that you can, first of all, being self-sustaining and I don't care what everyone says, bro. I'm sorry. Building in Alaska, having the right, but it's going to destroy the environment. Guys, the people who tell you that are flying their private jets causing more pollution. That's end of argument.
Hold on.
End of argument.
Let's just say, if you're going to say it causes pollution, you're just saying we want that pollution in another country.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all you're saying.
Yeah,
Let's be honest. If that's what you truly believe, you're saying, not our country, that country. Fuck those people. Our country's fine. Fuck them.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying.
Essentially.
Let's be clear.
That's a good point. But also, here's the other thing. At what point does it get a little too much, right? Like, okay, so, hey, fuck, we can't do this now because if we do this, and then my people aren't going to have that much oil, and then there's going to be, hey, man, open up the Alaskan fucking lines like you did the first time. Take the credit. People are going to criticize. Dude, you could save a baby, and people are going to be like, you tried... you were punching the baby while doing CPR.
Yeah.
At this point, fuck these people. Open up the pipeline. Bite the bullet. Because here's what I'm saying.
But the thing is, then you have to get that line before you can pursue.
Sure, fine. Hopefully that's what's going on. But what I'm saying is, if we keep giving the excuse like, we can't do that because, damn, they have us by the balls with oil, the problem will never get solved. And it'll only grow and get worse.
Yeah.
That's it. So there's really no good answer. It's a valid point.
Yeah.
But at some point, someone's got to.
Yeah. It's not. Here's the thing too: is an option would be too is like, hey, listen, you get in line, you don't do this shit again, or all this stuff comes out.
Yeah, like literally, like
so, like, and that's the thing is the solution they may come up with may not be what we want.
Well, here's the thing: if they're doing it that way,
yeah.
If they are leveraging, and this is something that my friend that I was, we were talking, and he said, "Well, maybe it's being leveraged," and I go, "Okay, yes, maybe not likely, but maybe he's leveraging." Right?
Yeah.
I've heard this argument. If he is good, then that means by the end of his term, everything should be rectified.
Yeah.
And at that point, awesome. Mm-hmm. I was wrong to think that we needed to do it now. Perfect. Let's see. Because let me tell you this now. A lot of people are saying, you're not going to get the files, Joe. Sorry, they're gone. Stop. Go. Okay, fine, cool. Then if we don't fix the issue, if nothing ever gets resolved, then when your side isn't in office, don't bitch about what's going on because you actually don't care.
Yeah.
Then when your side's in office, don't cheer what's going on because it's the same fucking wing, the two different wings of the same bird. Don't bitch when your side is not in. Don't act like you care. Don't post anything because you actually don't care about what the root problem is. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. At this point, if we don't ever get rid of them and the issue is, hey, it's never going to get resolved, fine. I will go live off a fucking grid. I will not fucking participate in modern society. And then when you have your 15-minute cities, you have all these influx of criminals coming into our country. No, not just because you're an immigrant. They're actually letting in criminals. Look at Venezuela's prisons. When they're actually letting those people in and your fucking cities are being overrun, which is happening right now, the crime's going through the roof even with your own citizens, but you have no protection because your tax dollars aren't going to your cities. Don't complain.
And you have no protections because the immigrants are protected and the police can't do shit to specific immigrants, but you get charged for the same thing and go to prison for that.
Exactly. At that point, don't complain. Don't complain when you are literally under a surveillance state. Don't complain. Like, just don't. Because you don't care. Because you don't believe that you're going to actually, that Epstein's files should, oh, don't worry, it's not going to happen. No, it better happen in some fucking way or shape or form. It better. I don't know. At that point, I'll just go off grid and I won't care anymore. I won't talk about politics anymore.
Just sit on your farm in Italy, drinking wine, eating cheese.
No, it'd be fucking, I don't even know where the hell I'd be. Oh, wait,
no one needs to know.
I'll be in.
Don't worry, they have the chip implanted in your head from the COVID vaccine, so you're fine. They know.
I didn't take it.
Oh, there you go.
I didn't take it.
Allegedly.
I didn't take it. No, I didn't take it.
Oh, you didn't want myocarditis?
No, I didn't want that. And by the way, we're saying that, so if you're thinking about people being, you're being rude by saying that, he took it.
I almost died from it.
Yep. So that's a case in point here. And by the way, did I ever call you an idiot for taking it? Did I ever call you this or that? No.
Oh.
No, because
like I said with Trump, I probably wouldn't have made the same decision he did. Mm-hmm. In those moments at that time, I was forced to for work too, regardless. I took it beforehand for my grandparents.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
It's crazy.
And I took the single shot. I took the J&J thinking that would be the least evasive one, and that was the one that was off the market first.
Oh shit!
And that's why I had fucking myocarditis.
You took the go big or go home approach. Yeah.
I figured one dose was better than 2 doses.
Yeah. Hey man, but honestly, all kidding aside, man, not even kidding aside, everything that we were saying aside, hopefully nothing comes of what happened last night.
Yeah,
hopefully, or I say hopefully somehow good comes. I don't think after this, let's just say good comes, no more focusing on the Middle East. It's America now. America. That's it.
The problem is that's never going to happen. AIPAC has so much money. Israel has so much influence. The Mossad is, I can't tell if they're getting sloppy or arrogant or just
panicking.
Well, I think some panicking, but I think it's just modern times and technology. People starting to come. They're smelling bullshit easier now, so they can't get away with the same bullshit. Like the whole thing is Israel is getting bombed. They're like, the Iron Dome is allegedly perfect. How are they letting bombs in? And it's like, are they doing that on purpose? Yeah. And more people are thinking that now. It's not conspiracy theory anymore. It's more and more people are like, okay, now, I don't know, that's a little smelly. So Mossad, though, my point was the Mossad is like some of the best intelligence in the world.
Yeah, it's essentially okay. I'm just gonna say this without making any accusations. Okay, I'm gonna leave you to interpret it. Epstein's list, that the biggest blackmail scandal in the history of modern history of our time, maybe. Okay? Modern times. Epstein was alleged Mossad agent. Let's say that's bullshit. Fine. His girlfriend, who was the one convicted, Ghislaine Maxwell. Father or uncle?
Father, I think.
Father, part of the Mossad. Not a conspiracy.
I believe he also owns a book manufacturing company.
Oh, is it like the textbooks or something?
Yeah.
I didn't look into that much, but
Allegedly, he has some connection to the textbook companies.
which is McGraw-Hill, I think you're thinking of.
Yeah.
Maybe. Don't know. I haven't done my research on that.
Allegedly.
But I could see it. So, who do you think has the influence? The Mossad. Now, I think it's also CIA. I think they worked in tandem.
They go hand in hand.
Hand in hand.
But whatever. That's a different rabbit hole.
Well, you know,
I don't want to go down that one today.
Yeah, no. But let's just say that hope everything gets
Yeah.
better.
Yeah.
That's it.
Crazy times.
And
Crazy
by the
times.
way, but crazy times.
I'm glad your vacation ended with a bomb.
Oh, it was great.
With a couple.
That was great. I was talking to someone yesterday, and we see eye to eye on a lot when it comes to the Israel. She's very level headed. We see eye on a lot, except I think Netanyahu has had an influence in October 7th with the thing. Yeah, and she just.
Influence doesn't mean he could have allowed it to happen.
allowed
Like
it to happen.
Pearl Harbor.
Yes.
We knew it was going to happen. We
Yes.
let it happen so we can
Yes.
get into the war.
Yes, that's what I think.
Yeah, absolutely. There was a protest supposed to be going on to get rid of Netanyahu. The Israelis did not want him
Yes,
anymore.
and then that's what happened.
Like
and now
that's a
yes,
fact.
yes.
Go and look at it, but they won't report it in American
No,
news
they
because
won't.
A, that's not our business. B, we're all bought and paid for politically wise by Israel, Israeli government. So they're not going to talk shit about Netanyahu. Yeah. So.
Yeah. No, but what's crazy is
But that whole October 7th, like being Pearl Harbor, it's not see, that's not a false flag, but it's not a false flag.
No,
like
it's
Pearl Harbor happened,
but we allowed it to happen.
but we allowed it to happen.
Yes.
Our government intercepted the news and didn't give a warning when they could have.
Yes.
Right. Top level, that's what happened. The exact details we don't fucking know. I don't know. Maybe they do have a report out there. It's hard to believe what the report actually is because between what happened and then what got reported on isn't always the same thing. But it's a fact that we deciphered their communication and could have warned Pearl Harbor before it happened, but they didn't want to because they want to get into the war.
Yeah.
That's a fact. That's kind of a false flag. I don't know the technical term, but so October 7th, when it first happened, people would not believe it. But now it's like, oh, no, I would not be surprised at all. It's becoming more and more mainstream,
yeah, or accepted.
yeah, more
No.
and more accepted that is a possibility. There's no, how do you prove that? And here's the whole thing is they stood down for like 6 hours. Apparently, Israel's the size of New Jersey.
Yeah, I saw that.
So that's bullshit. If they knew they were getting attacked, 6 hours is in 2 hours tops.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
2 hours. Okay, we'll say 4 hours, but 6, no.
No.
And everyone in Israel, I think, is armed. All Israel, actual Israelis.
Yeah. Like
So-
I have a friend that is his. I think he's still there. He's there, and his mom is there.
Yeah.
Like, this is not like, and actually, to be honest with you, just the discussions. I haven't spoken. He's doing great. I love him.
Yeah.
I don't think he would agree with
Yeah.
what we're saying, but he's also very level headed, and
Yeah.
I wish him the best. Like
Yeah.
I hope he's okay there. I hope him and his mom
Yeah.
are okay there, right? But I think he's in Jerusalem, outside Jerusalem, so it's not Tel Aviv. But regardless, like it's just I think the acceptance, right, of what's being accepted by most people could probably explain your question about how they're getting sloppy or if they're getting sloppy or not. At some point, they're probably like, do they know? But fuck it, who cares?
Yeah.
What are they going to do about it?
My favorite bit is so like I told you I was telling you before, I went and saw Dave Smith this weekend. Shout out to Dave Smith, big libertarian. So my political point of view basically falls under the line of Ron Paul, Rand Paul's father, and Dave Smith kind of like that's his call it guiding light. He's very big politically talking, and he was on a debate on Piers Morgan, and he's debating some lawyer that is like for Israel, like promoting. And Dave Smith just goes, "This argument's easy for me to win because I'm right. I'm right. All my points are facts that are correct. You are defending your client because you're an attorney for Israel. You have to defend them. So you don't even have facts and what's right on your side. You have to pull shit out of your ass to argue. He's like, it's easy to beat you in an argument. And if you listen to the rest of it, like, it's just nonsensical arguments. The whole Ted Cruz argument.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, listen, like, please go listen to it. He just is like pulling shit out of his ass. He's like has his talking points, and they fall apart when you have long form conversation. Yeah. So like,
well, that's what happens when you're bought and paid for.
Yeah, but it's clearly bought and paid for, and he says it. He promotes himself. I want to be the congressman that is the strongest for AIPAC.
Yeah.
Why is that the thing you're promoting?
Aren't you the congressman? Is it Texas, right?
Yeah, but why is that? Why do you care?
Yeah, like you shouldn't. Your focus should be on your constituents.
Yeah,
the Texans.
It's just. Why is that the thing you're promoting?
Dude. Yeah. Well, it was because that's what makes you money, right? That's what. That's the.
But machine. You think AIPAC would be like, listen, just fucking promote Texas publicly, and then when you behind closed doors do the things you need to do.
AIPAC
to cover us.
Who thinks getting the kickback? The people who run AIPAC.
But I'm saying AIPAC. They don't need to go around promoting AIPAC. Like I was saying, Ted Cruz does not need to be publicly saying, I care so much about AIPAC. He could not say any of that, but support them in political decisions. Like, to me, that would make more sense. You don't need to go around being a cheerleader.
Yeah, but that's what happens, like in a world where not everything is so corrupt and bought and paid for.
Is that the having to wear female clothes when you become a celebrity and you're bought and paid for?
Or they make you do some weird shit, like John Cena showing up naked to the was it the Grammys or something?
Couldn't tell you.
He came on a stage with like just his like a fucking Speedo or something. Apparently that's, I don't know how true this is, but apparently that's like you do that for us, we'll give you a good deal in the movie because you're basically, I don't know, it's weird. They're weird.
People need to be attention. That whole cult's
weird, bro.
Yeah,
the whole cult's weird. Regardless, folks, the whole thing of the show, you don't have to agree. You can disagree. Let us know.
Tell us what you think we got wrong.
Yeah. And if your only argument is, a bunch of conspiracy theorists, I'm going to just block you out because at this point you are asleep, and continue being asleep will wake you up.
If you think it's just conspiracy, explain why that's not a possibility.
Yeah, exactly. At least give us an argument and we'll listen to it. The point of this is not to create ruffle any feathers at this point. I think it's like to know that we are being purposely divided, purposely angered, purposely pitted against each other. And at some point, we just all got to wake up and be like, enough's enough. And by that, I just mean like, just reject it. There's that's it. Like people are like, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
Stop accepting it. Don't put your money toward organizations that are not congruent with you. Yeah.
Stop promoting these shitty politicians.
Stop promoting these shitty politicians. Call for shit. Like there's a lot you can do with your wallet. There's a lot you can do with your voice. Like not everyone's like, well, what am I going to do? Oh, you're not doing it. Bro, I am not calling for a revolution. It doesn't need to be a revolution, that the traditional revolution like happened in 1776. How about like just start saying no? Like what the fuck are we talking about?
Didn't it under Obama that he was trying to get us into a war and then everyone was just like, what the fuck are you doing? And then he didn't. I think it was Iran.
I think it was. Yeah, well, he also gave like billions of dollars to Iran.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure, I forget what it was. Someone correct me. But I'm pretty sure it was under Obama. He was trying to get us into another war. And the whole country's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah,
why?
right. Yeah.
Like everyone. And he's like, oh, okay.
Exactly. See? They do. Dude.
So the voice happens. So I like what you're saying. And I do think that's kind of like the topic I was talking about with like the Mossad like getting sloppy or whatever. I don't know if it's necessary. I think they're just used to doing what they're doing, and people are just blindly following the news. And I think slowly since COVID, even the left, they're like with the whole Biden being sharp as a tack behind closed doors. I gotta tell you a funny bit offline about that from Dave Smith. But like behind closed doors, like he's sharp as a tack. It's like, well, how about in public?
Yeah, right.
You know. I think even the left's starting to realize the bullshit that their news is feeding them. Like,
I hope.
I don't, obviously not everyone, but I think it's slowly starting. The light's getting shined, and slowly think that the cruise ship takes forever to turn. And I think it's happening.
Well, I hope. Well, here's the problem. The useful idiots that I referred to.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that are like Antifa.
The mouth breathers.
The Antifa. No, those are like Antifa.
Yeah.
Those are the ones who like have nothing going for them.
Well, dude, the professional protesters are a real thing, and now even that's being highlighted. People like that's starting to come to light. Before that was a conspiracy
receiving $1,250 from what was it, Soros, the ones in LA right now.
But like 5 years ago, like not even like 3 years ago, during the George Floyd riots and stuff, like that was like, no, that's not true. That's not true. That's conspiracy. But now things are like, it's so in the limelight now. People are starting to accept it because they are finding all this proof. So anyway. I think things are slowly starting to be light shined on. These are basically all the tactics they've been using for 100 years.
Yeah.
But now they can't get away with that bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, you think they'd be a lot more sophisticated.
100%.
But, yeah, I don't know.
Well.
Yeah. And on that bombshell, folks, go enjoy life.
Did I snap again? I fucking
Yes,
hate
you did.
this. Oh.
Finger guns.
Dude, I snapped again.
Go enjoy life. Stop focusing on politics because you can't change your life as much as you spend the energy on it. So, definitely don't be uninformed. If you want, be informed, but don't spend your life, your hobby being hating Trump.
Greg, yes, please. There's some of you who need to fucking do
We get it. You don't like him. You don't need to spend your whole day, your whole life hating Trump.
Exactly.
If that's the case, then you have a weird love-hate for him. Like, you love him. You hate him so much that you love him. It's really what it is.
And at the same time, we'll go the opposite, right? Because if you feel like we're picking on one side, if you are a Trump supporter and there's something that you didn't like that he did, and it's okay to be like, hey, he did well here, and I actually don't agree with that. It's not the
He's not the Messiah. You don't need to say that he's perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
So we can take you more seriously when you're actually willing to be critical on both directions of everyone.
100%. And at the same time, if you are going to come with the stuff of why you don't like him, make sure it wasn't the propaganda that was fed to you. Actually make sure it was real. Anyway, that's it.
Speaking of that last note, though, propaganda, everything technically is propaganda. Everyone has their own point of view and things they're trying to promote. So take everything with us, anyone, political, news, take it with a grain of salt that they're skewing the facts to their direction they want.
Yeah.
And understand that there's what's it? There's 3 points of view, your point of view, my point of view, and what actually happened.
Yeah, exactly.
So like then times that by 1 million for world affairs. So every time you hear stuff, take it with a grain of salt. Understand that you're not getting all the facts from that person or from anyone ever when they're talking to you, and that there's more than one point of view.
Yep. Hell yeah. All right, folks. Episode 182. Let us know what you think. Agree, disagree. We really
tell us why
care.
we're stupid.
But we're not. Anyway, anything else?
Spread love.
Yeah, I like that. Spread love. Love that. Come together. Episode 182. We'll see you next week. Burr, burr, burr.